The number one thing that really bothers me in Halo Infinite is honestly its lack of choice when it comes to the game modes that you want to play. I mean, if we look at MCC, for example, which I think is the gold standard with its match composer, being able to play any game mode you want the way you want is just such a great idea because you put it into the hands of the players on what they want to play. But the way 343 has it with Halo Infinite, where you choose a playlist and then there's like certain game modes on that playlist, is just so stupid. And I fundamentally I hate it. Because I know some of you guys feel different than me on this, but I'm gonna be real with you. When I go to boot up some Halo Infinite or any other first-person shooter, the first thing on my mind is I just want to play Slayer. You know, back on Halo 5, I played a lot of Halo 5 ranked Slayer playlist because to me, KD is all that matters. I don't play Halo to hold an oddball, to hold a stronghold, to hold a hill, or to capture a flag. I specifically play Halo to shoot people and to kill them and to get shot and killed in return. That is the basics of first-person shooters, is the gunplay. So to me, that's the most important. And in Halo 2, 3, 4, in a weird way, once they kind of gave you a rank you could see on Halo Waypoint back in the day, and Halo 5 and MCC all had game modes like Ranked Team Slayer, vastly more options than what you could do. Like the gameplay I'm showing you guys right now, Stockpile. I don't go on Halo because I want to take energy cores to my base. No, I want to shoot people, and get in vehicles and have power weapons and just mow other people down. That's why I play Big Team Battle. That's why I play Slayer. So the fact that I'm forced to play these objective game modes because 343 just likes to inject objective into all the game modes. Like, I recently learned they put Capture the Flag in King of the Hill and SWAT, aka Tactical Slayer, and to me that was just insane. I left immediately. I was just like, I'm not getting spawn trapped for like 8 to 9 minutes. And I don't understand why 343 has their match-made system the way it is set up currently. Because you're just forcing players to play game modes they don't want to play. Like the gameplay I'm showing you right now, Stockpile. I wouldn't play that. And they had the gold standard already with MCC's match composer. So I don't understand why they didn't just go with something that was already great, that everyone loved. This is even something Call of Duty since day one has gotten right. They understand that people want to play their game modes. Like, imagine if Call of Duty combined Search and Destroy, Domination, Control, and like VIP together and made it into one playlist so you couldn't just play Search and Destroy all day. The Search and Destroy community in Call of Duty would be so pissed. They don't want to play Domination and Control all the time. They want to play Search. So I don't understand why Halo, which has had a track record of having good matchmaking and letting you play what you want, has reverted to this really simplified, disgusting version of itself when it already knew what it was supposed to be doing because the previous Halos show that. Like, even Halo 5 give you options, and sure, some of the playlists aren't as populated as others. Wow, imagine that. People have preferences, and the majority of people just want to shoot other Spartans. I personally believe in letting the market decide what it wants to play instead of having 343 tell us. If you've ever played Halo Infinite's Big Team Battle playlist, you know that Big Team Battle Capture the Flag isn't really Capture the Flag. It's 18-minute Big Team Battle Slayer. And that's cool sometimes, but when the enemy team is dominating your team and they have like 2 wasps, that really becomes old and you're just like, can this end? And let me just say, the lack of variety and options in Halo Infinite's multiplayer is one of the key contributing factors to why the game isn't doing even remotely as good as it should be. It's not the biggest. I think desync and the lack of content is number 1 and 2, but I think the lack of options is number 3. And the reason that is because, like, there are times in Halo Infinite where there's no free-for-all playlist. And sure, free-for-all is very niche. Let's be real here. If you looked at Ranked FFA, there's hardly anyone ever playing it. But you know what? They still have a community and they deserve to have their game mode that they can play when they want. So the fact that, Halo Infinite's not catering to all these people, like, it's insane to me. I've literally talked to people that don't play the game because the game modes that they like to play in Halo aren't in the game. Like Infection, a permanent FFA playlist. Like, I like playing FFA. I remember I would do Rumble Pit, and I would leave it if it was Vampire Oddball, if it was Normal Oddball, if it was Ninja Slayer FFA, if it was Fiesta FFA, and I would just go try to play some normal FFA. But, you know, people will leave the game if they can't play the game modes that they want to play. That's just the way it is. Like, I've seen streamers, you know, they'll go on Halo Infinite and be like, oh, how's it like? And then they realize they don't really have much in the way of options, and then they leave. Like, Team Snipers is another niche audience. Team Snipers has its people, but it's a niche audience of people that love to play it, and they don't even get to play it all the time. It's a rotational playlist, and to me, that's so ridiculous. Like, rotational playlists should be for event playlists to see if they're popular, and just crazy wacky things like Purple Rain, like I forgot what it was called, like what, Social Skirmish, I think? You know, the Purple Rain playlist where the zero gravity and everyone has unlimited needlers. I think there was Rockin' Socks or whatever, or like those are the game modes that should be rotational if we were to have rotational at all, not core staples of Halo.
I'm sorry, sir. It's time for you to leave.